Hello everybody, long time no see. So it's been about 11 months since I last uploaded a YouTube video and a lot has happened in that time. So this YouTube video is just literally going to be an update of the past sort of 12 months, where I am now and my plans for the future with Cash Stuffing, my current setup and how I'm going with that. And I'm literally restarting Cash Stuffing again today. I'm so excited. And then my next video next week is going to be my first Cash Stuffing video. So if you're not too bothered about the update, feel free to not watch this, but it will explain things that might not be clear in future videos, if that makes sense. Anyway, so the last year has been crazy. So last May we found out we were pregnant, and that happened very quickly. It was planned and everything. And then around the same time, I think like a week before we found out we was pregnant, my husband applied for a job in America, in Chicago. That was the third job he'd applied for in America. So he kind of thought nothing would come of it. He was like, I'm just going to apply for it and that's that. I was like, okay, cool. So then we found out I was pregnant, told family, whatever. And then things started to happen with this job in Chicago. It's with the same company he worked with in the UK, just in North America. And so the companies were going, although it's the same company, they are separate because they're different countries. The companies were kind of like in talks with each other, and things started to happen, and they ended up inviting him out to Chicago end of July just to see if he would like it, if, you know, to meet him, all the rest of it. We then were waiting for his offer, and we were like, oh my gosh, it's getting serious now, like we could be moving to America, which was just a crazy thought. It's something we've been talking about for a while. We both love America. And we waited and waited and waited for this offer to come through, and it took about 6 weeks. And at the time I was a teacher, so I finished teaching at Christmas to have my little boy. So he went end of July. So by the time I broke up for the summer holidays, he was back home, and literally a few days before I was due to go back to work in September, we got his offer through and found out, okay, we're doing this. For the visa he was coming across on, we had to be married. We weren't married at the time, and we've been together like 10 years, and marriage was just something that wasn't important to us. So it was just something we'd never done. We'd talked about, but it wasn't important, so we hadn't done. So I literally booked the wedding, and 6 weeks later we got married mid-October. And then a month later, James moved out to Chicago. So I was around about 30 weeks pregnant when James moved out to Chicago, and we ummed and ahed whether we were going to have our baby in the UK or the US. And we ultimately decided the UK because family was there, and as well I was really worried about their medical insurance. He has really good health insurance for us, but I was so worried, like, I didn't know how it worked, and I thought, what if we just landed with like this $30,000 bill? So ultimately we just decided to have him in the UK and come out later. So that's what we did. I moved out of our house at New Year, and I moved back home with my parents for us to rent our house out. So our house is being rented in the UK, so we've still got that, which is a really nice feeling. And then I ended up having my little boy a week early at the end of January, and then end of March we flew out to Chicago. So me, my little boy and our chocolate lab all flew out to Chicago, and my mum came with us as well, but she flew home a week later. So that's been the past 12 months, which has been crazy. A baby, getting married, and moving to not just a new country, a whole new continent, you know, like feels like I'm halfway across the world from where I was. But yeah, no, we're absolutely loving it. Things are going great. I've got a new job that is not teaching, it's still within education. So that's really good, because that's something I wanted to look at, was coming out of teaching. I still don't know whether I'll go back into it, we'll see. But anyway, I've got a new job that I have kind of started. I'm training at the minute, but I start officially on site next week for more training, and then I'm kind of good to go on my own sort of mid-August. So there we go. Anyway, I've made some notes, so I'm going to just go down those. So my goals at the minute, and are the same goals that I've had for a while, and I'm kind of fed up of them. The first one that I'm fed up of is to become debt free. It's been too long. I think for pretty much my whole adult life I have been in debt. I'm 35, I'm going to be 36 in November. So that's 18 years I've been in debt, and that's just not okay. And don't get me wrong, my habits are so much better than they were, and I'm so grateful for that, but I really need to get out of debt now, because I can't keep carrying on the way I am. So that's my number one goal. My second goal is to build my sinking funds. I would like to try and get a year ahead on some things. Not everything, but some things I'd like to try and get a year ahead. These are long-term goals, not things that I'm planning on trying to do this year. And then build my savings as well. Ultimately, my main focus is to become debt-free. That is my first focus, but I'm trying to build my sinking funds and build my savings to stop me going into debt again and again and again. So they're all kind of working together. Okay, so I've done things very differently. I sold all my cash stuff and stuff set up when we moved out of our house. I did keep quite a few savings challenges, but everything else went. I kept my Saffiano as well, but everything else went. So I am starting from scratch. So I did do I'll come back to that in a minute actually. So I've decided about my categories. I've decided all the categories I want to save for, but I am just focusing on, I want to say a small amount, but there's still a chunky amount in here, because I'm trying to focus on the ones that really need to be focused on now, and then slowly, because I haven't got a lot of spare income, and so I really need to be mindful of where I'm putting my money and not spreading myself too thinly. So once I've started to build up some of these categories, I can then start to introduce more, like one at a time, slowly, and hopefully we can get to a good place in however, a year, 2 years time. Okay, so my setup now, I've got one binder, which I can't even close, but basically I did a Temu order using money from Vinted because I got so sucked into, and Girl Please Budget said this on her Instagram story, that she's been out of cash stuffing for a bit as well, and she doesn't know she's coming back to it, but she was just saying she got sucked into all the pretty things, and that's exactly what I did. I got sucked into the pretty things, and I'll be honest with you, I was putting a lot of those pretty things on my credit card and getting myself into more debt, which goes against what this whole cash stuffing process is about. It's about not being in debt. It's about having the money there when you need it. It's about better financial stability. And I was just using it because it was to save up for things, and it did help, but I was also getting myself into more debt to have the pretty things. So I told myself this time we are not doing that. We're starting small. I've got one binder. I did a Temu order. I'm 100% going to be supporting small businesses, but my budget at the minute did not allow that. So I did a small Temu order. I literally ordered this. I ordered envelopes, I ordered cash tray, I did order a little basket to kind of store it all in, and a tripod, which I'll be honest, I need another one, but whatever, we're just sticking with it for now. And I used money from Vinted, from things that I've sold, because I thought, no, I'm not doing this again. And then I've got an envelope in here that I can put money into and eventually save up for a bigger, better setup as and when my budget lets me. So this is a really, really basic setup. So if you are someone who is just getting into cash stuffing, this is probably, my journey is probably going to be really good for you to follow, because I'm starting fresh, I am starting over again, but two, because I am not getting sucked into all the pretty stuff straight away. I have got some of the pretty saving challenges already, but the important thing for me is my money mindset, my debt free, building my sinking funds and my savings. That is what is important at the moment. So that is my focus, and we will get there with pretty binders. It's really hard when you see other cash stuffers have this beautiful setup, but I'm on chapter 1, page 1. They're on chapter 25, page 369. We're in different places, and I will be there. I'll be at chapter 25 at some point, but for now, I am not. So that's it, really. Everything I'm trying to cash flow. I haven't got a credit card yet out here. I am going to get one just to try and build my credit, because I've got no credit here, but it will be a very small credit allowance. But I really, really, really want to just cash flow everything. So that is that, really. I'm going to quickly go through my binder, and then that will be the end of this video. And then my next video will be my cash stuffing. So we're going to quickly just go through my purse first of all. So I have still got some envelopes. I do need some new ones because some of my categories have changed. So personal, that I don't really know what I'm going to use that for. I will keep that in there, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that might just be if I'm going clothes shopping and whatever, and I don't know, whatever. Food shopping, self-explanatory. Now weekend money I'm actually keeping in my bank, because me and my husband have set ourselves a budget for going out to eat, and I think it's easy to keep the money in the bank because he pays on card, and so I can just transfer it to him. So I've swapped that envelope for Ella, which is our chocolate lab. And then I just had one that was other, which was like a spare one. And that one I've swapped for Noah. And then fuel, which I finally got a car again after 2 years. It's been 2 years since I've had my own car, so that's a nice feeling. Okay, my binder then, as I say, it will not close, but that's fine. I only need one binder at the minute, and when I've got some more money in that envelope, I can buy some other things. Sorry, I just went to turn off the aircon because I didn't want it to be too noisy. It will turn off in a minute. Okay, so self-care is the first one. Ignore that, these are from before. I haven't put anything on them yet because I think I'm just going to put money in here as and when. This is for skincare, hair care, makeup, that sort of thing. Mostly hair care because I don't really need any makeup, and skincare I'm going to try and keep quite simple whilst I'm on this journey. Co-pay medical, this is a new one, so sometimes you have to, we have our medical insurance, which is really good. It covers a lot, but sometimes you have to do like a co-pay. So yeah, I've just popped that in there. Small business, this is my envelope. Again, you can see I've just used post-it notes. I haven't got stickers. I'm trying to keep it really simple. Small business, this is going to be for me to get my pretty stuff, my binders. Weekends away, that is a focus because one thing we want to do whilst we're out here is travel. That was one of the big things whilst we are out here. So although I am on this debt-free journey, I don't want to take away the fact that we are out in America and we're very lucky to be in this position. So there we go. Holidays, flights home, that's a really important one. Christmas, gifting for like birthdays and stuff. Noah, so that envelope in there is going to be for things he needs weekly: nappies, formula wipes, and this will be stuff for toys, stuff to do with his daycare, I don't know, whatever else is medical. Ella, the same, that'll be for like food. That's all she really needs weekly, to be fair. And then this will be for like vets and all that sort of stuff. A debt envelope so I can pay extra money off towards my debt. Emergency fund, this is my US emergency fund. Don't know if I'm going to save 5,000, we'll see. But yeah, that's emergency fund. Car, now I've got a car. I have got it on a lease, so it is brand new. So it is under warranty, but you know, if I need any tyres, I don't think they have MOT out here, but they do have service, all that sort of stuff. So we've got that there. Unpaid leave, so you may not know, the holidays over here are not great. My husband's actually got really good amount of holidays. He's got 15 days holiday, which is incredible. I've got 5 days holiday plus 5 personal days, so I can use, I've got 10 days holiday basically. He's got 15 plus 5 personal days. So but they have said to me I can take more leave if I want to. It will be unpaid, so I am going to save up for unpaid leave. And then these are my challenges. So my challenges are linked to these. I've got all the ones saved. I've only put a set amount in here, kind of the most important ones that I would like to get some money saved for. So we've got the emergency fund, we've got the mini emergency one from Grounded Budgets, which will then go into my big one. We've got the wine and dine, that's from Budget Gals, and that's going to be go towards my car. One smart cookie from Budget Lux, which is co-pay medical, and then we've got a bingo one from the Queen Bee Makes, which is Christmas. And then we've got this Galentine's one, which I'm going to use for weekends away, and then this Treasure Tower one, that was from the Queen Bee Makes, and Treasure Tower, which is Grounded Budgets for flights. So oops. So they're my challenges, and I'm just going to put all the money into here. And then when we've finished it, we can allocate it where it needs to go. So that's my very basic setup. I've literally got one Sharpie as well. I haven't got an array of Sharpies at the minute. We're keeping it super simple. So yeah, that's my update. That's where I'm heading. And I'm really excited to get started. So I'll see you next week for my first cash shuffling video. Bye.